Hello, G Hubbard's here again with another Minecraft video. This time, instead of showing you my usual builds and stuff, I'll be showing you some different piston stuff as I promised in my last video. I'll show you the basics of redstone wiring and some cool piston ways to make doors and secret passageways. So let's start off with the simplest. This one was so simple I didn't even bother to place the redstone underground. So you flip the switch and those two doors open. As you noticed, however, it's set back one, so it's not a secret passageway by any means, unless maybe you had a chest here or something to make it a little less noticeable. Now if you come around back and follow this redstone wiring, all it is this wiring leading to this torch, redstone torch, to these pistons, same on the other side. And when you give power to the redstone, it just comes along and it flips the power on the torch. So it opens it. Now I'll just turn that off. And actually, before I show you the other ones, I'll show you just the basics of redstone wiring with pistons and the such. So over here we have an example of a design that I use almost always when I'm using pistons. It's just a simple step up to this redstone torch with a current going over it with the pistons one block apart, and you flip this, and when this gives power or takes away power, it does the opposite to the torch. So when the redstone's off, the torch goes on. When the redstone's on, the torch goes off. And when the torch is on, it pushes out the pistons, and it can can pull and push. So that's the basics of that. Now over here, this is also a really basic concept to grasp, but basically redstone torches, when given power or taken away power, they just switch. And this is a good way if you didn't have repeaters for some reason, you could do it this way to renew the signal at least. And so that's really simple design. Over here, this one I don't use too often just because I haven't had to build anything that needed it to be like this, but this is a way to, I guess, elevate redstone signal. So say you had this up here, you could flip that and it'll reverse the signal exactly like over here, and it'll flip the signal up here, turning it on or off, thus making it a really compact way to get redstone power up without having to build a huge staircase type thing. Very useful if that's what you're trying to do. I haven't ever had to do it, but I'm sure you could. Now over here is just a simple redstone, or whatever you call it, repeating circle, I guess. Basically it's just a bunch of repeaters, and if I break this here, it'll stop. You just flip this, flip it off, it'll continue the signal. Now you can increase the length so that it takes slower or longer using the repeaters to get the signal around. This is useful. I don't know if you needed a piston over here. Just build this real quick design. Like I said, it's very useful actually. Whoops, fail. Say you had a doorway and you had it on a timer, or jump challenges. I've used this a couple times in my jump challenges, where you have to jump from one block to another while this is coming in and out of a wall. Very cool. Then over here, my last simple thing is just to show you how you can make a discrete way to power redstone. So as you can see, you can either have it on a wall like this, where maybe you have a wall and just put that in there. I use this in my mansion, and you flip this and it turns it on. Or you could have it on the floor, if given that this is the floor of a place. You just flip the switch and boom, it's on. So those are the basics of redstone. Hope that was helpful. Now I'll show you some different ways that I I have used those concepts. So there's this one, where if you look, just a recap, on the back it has this, one of my simple ways. And really, I mean, there's so many more complicated ways to do stuff, and there are some things that require much more complicated ways of doing it. But for about 80% of the redstone stuff, this is all that you really use. Don't quote me on that, as I can't prove to you that, but yeah. This is the one that I used in my secret for it under the nether portal and stuff. And all these videos, just subscribe and you'll get them. Like I said, I reference them a lot, but you just flip this switch and it pulls it back. Darn, it's turning night, so I may have to come back to you guys, but I'll show you this last one. So it pulls it back all the way. Very useful, and it's easy to hide and make a pathway so that you don't even need to see the redstone powering. So like I said, one easy switch goes back in, pulls back out. An overview from the top is the power comes in from here. Hits this one first, so if I just flip it back, hits this one, so this will pull this back. Then it'll hit this one because it has a repeater, so it'll delay the signal long enough. It'll go to this one, hit this one, pull this piston back, and then this another repeater to slow it down even more, so it isn't going too fast for the pistons to keep up. But this one goes, hits this one. Now when this one moves back, I'll show you. When this one moves back, it's right here. So then this causes this piston to push forward and pull back, pulling this one back 2 blocks, enough to allow a passageway through. Now, so that's this one, and it's using the basic designs that I showed you over here, just using it several times and in a smart fashion. So now I'm going to wait for day, and I'll see you again when it's day. And we're back. So, it just turned morning, and we still have a couple more to do. And, but first I wanted to show you something. I thought I'd show this, as I didn't know this for a while. And so I tried it, and it didn't work, and I was a little disappointed. But you can't pull obsidian with pistons, no matter, I mean, you just can't do it. Which kind of disappointed me, because I had a whole bunch of bases I wanted to make impenetrable from TNT, but just doesn't work. Anyways, just thought I'd show that and let you guys know. Probably already know that, but so then we have this one over here, and I used this one rather recently in my mansion, my wood mansion, which, like I said, I mention my other videos a lot. So, just watch my other videos. You know what I'm talking about. My wood mansion, anyways. And it's a little more complicated. It was a lot simpler than I thought it would be, but a lot more complicated than I thought it would be at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. So anyways, so imagine this is a room, and I had to make this because it was so on Flat World. I built my mansion on Flat World, but it's only 3 blocks. Whoops, 3 blocks down from bedrock. So 1, 2, 3. And my house was right on top, so I had to make one that opening that went down, yet had a big enough space for you to go down into it. So you flip the switch. Boom. There's a entrance right here that you can fit through. Now, just to show you, this one, so you can have this switch wherever, you just have to modify the redstone a little bit. But over here, this wiring that leads to this piston, doesn't really matter any timing. There's nothing special about it. It just has to hit that one sometime. So it just has to hit that one, because all that does is just pull it down. The other ones are a little bit more complicated. Over here, you have to get the timing right. So as you can see, this one this block. Notice this block right here. When I pull this, it pushes it up. I don't know if you caught that. It might have been a little fast. But it pushes it over, and then this one pushes it up. Now, you notice this. I think I got it a little bit that time. This one has to pull it down and then be pulled over. This is actually a little bit more complicated than it seems, due to the fact that the timing has to be reverse. So for it to be like this, the first time this has to go first, has to pull this block down first, and then have this one pull it over to the side second. Otherwise it'll just be pulling nothing over. So to do that, you have this one go, and you have 2 repeaters on full delay right here, leading to some power for this piston. And then you have this power come over here with only 1 repeater on full delay. Go over here. Don't mind this one redstone right here. We'll just take that out of the equation right now, actually. And so then this one goes over here and hits this one, making it so that this one has a smaller delay and will pull this one over first, whereas this one has a longer delay and will pull over second. Now, so once it's down like this, then you have the problem that you have to have this one push first and then have this one push second, whereas before it's this one pulling first and this one pulling second. So to do that, this one no longer even matters. So you can even break that one. Doesn't matter. So you have this that runs along here, hits this repeater, which doesn't matter again, but you need it for it to pull down. However, this is where it comes down to, right here. So this one only has to travel from this block to this block into that, making it 2 redstone blocks. Whereas going around this way is 1, 2, 3, 4. Which then goes to the piston, making it the smallest delay, ever so small. But enough for the pistons to keep up, and enough for this one to be first, to be second, and this one to be first, this one to be first, this one to be second. Sorry about that. So, just to show you, you don't even need that for it to work. However, to pull it back, you need it. So that's that one. Now over here, this one, I really enjoyed making this one. Because, you know, you always see either 2x2 or 1x2 doorways, or that one's weird, that one's, I don't know what that is. It's 3-dimensional. 3-dimensional doorway. Doorways, anyways. And I wanted to make something that's a 2x6. Or a 2 by any number. This works for any height. However, it has to be 2 width, just because, you know, pistons, you can't, yeah. I'm sure you could make one for 3 wide, 4 wide, and all that. In fact, I'll probably do that in another video, just to challenge myself. But for the sake of this video, this is a 2x6. And it pulls it out. Boom. So you have this massive doorway, great for like a big castle or mansion or big building where you want a really impressive doorway through. So anyways, so this works. Now to look at the powering, it's actually kind of funny. When I built this side first. It wasn't as clean as this side over here. If you notice, this one just goes straight to it, splits off 3 ways. This one over here has all this square of power and splits off 4 ways. That's kind of weird. I don't think I need this one here. Do I? I don't think so. I'll leave it there anyways. So it splits off. So I'll show you this way. And the reason why it was different on each one is because I was just using my knowledge of the basic designs, basic redstone wiring that I showed you earlier, and built these. So basically what it is using my knowledge that 2 pistons can be powered by 1 redstone torch. You see that? I just made 3 redstone torches, 6 pistons. So, in theory this would work. You could build a doorway all the way up to Skybox from bedrock. So then I knew that with these 3 torches, I just had to flip the signal on them for them to work. To do that, I knew I had to get a current to each one. So it's rather simple. I just had to build the... So yeah, then all I had to do is just make it lead up and hit all of them. So this one hits, so this bottom one just goes through this and hits that torch. This middle one wraps around, hits that torch. And this top one wraps around, hits this torch. Same on this side, just not as clean, so I won't show you it. But basically this just takes the signal, which runs underground from there. Boom. This repeater is not necessary. It's just there to renew the signal. Because as you know, redstone only travels like 16 blocks or something like that. And a repeater, along with being able to delay, can renew the signal. And so it just branches off into 3 ways. Now over here, I have an example. Let me just break this. Of something that looks like it will work, but it won't. So if you look, I have the same thing. It's a smaller scale, just 2 of them, but it shouldn't be any different in theory. I have all these, everything set up perfect, sort of. You'll find out. So I have this, it goes up. This one should be hitting this one. This one travels up, should be hitting this one. Everything's good. So then I add this. And I use it, and it doesn't pull them back or push them out. Nothing's happening. You may be asking yourself, what's wrong? I did this perfectly. You may have done this too, thinking how. I'll compact is designed. Well, if you look, this goes in here. If you look, this creates an L shape. If you look at it from over here, it is going up there and coming from the right over here. There is no redstone that is pointing towards this torch, because I mean redstone normally, you know, points to where it's going. So if it's curved like this, then there's no signal going to this block unless you add this. With this, since the redstone isn't on it, it doesn't see it. So you can be powering this all you want, but it's not going to see it unless it is pointing towards it, which in that case it will see it. So getting rid of this. So if you look, this one, the power is going up here and coming from down here and going down here and whatever. And so it's not going towards this torch. You look over here, and sorry it's turning night, hope you can still see. You should still be able to. I'll turn the brightness up. Whoops, that's FOV. Brightness. I love that setting, it's so nice for videos and stuff. So then this one has the same exact problem. So you see it's coming up here, and although it doesn't have another one like this that's causing it to create that kind of square of redstone, this one, since it's not coming from, if I look at it this way, it's not coming from the right over here and going in left towards the block, and it's just coming straight up pointing towards the pistons. It's sending its energy towards the pistons in a way, and not giving any energy to this torch here. So looking back over at the correct design, you have to have these spaces here between them, and for multiple reasons. One is so that you don't have a current like this, which now it'll no longer power the torch behind this block. And over here, you have to have it facing the torch or towards the torch. Like that, towards the block that the torch is on. A way to go around this maybe is to do this, but you won't always have that option, because say you have a block right here, this will now effectively block the current. So, you can't always do that. So yeah, this has been G Hubbards here. Hope this has been helpful. It's a tutorial. Please like, subscribe, favorite, just whatever you want to do. Comments help. If you want to see a tutorial on something or see me build something, please comment. I'll see if I can do it, what I can do. It may not be instant, but I'll get around to it sooner or later, as soon as I can. I'll keep putting out videos. Please watch my other videos. If you subscribe, you can see them easily. As you'll note in my videos, I tend to reference them a few times. So this has been G Hubbard's. Hope this has helped you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.